You want to do Mervin?
Yeah, let's dive into some GNU.
Yeah.
So I got the catalog right there. The big things to note with GNU is the money gets a new shape, so it's more blunted, and that's page 15.
Have you ridden money?
Yes, I like the money.
Yeah.
It's like what the skate banana should have been,
right?
But it never was.
Yeah. The money is the board that converted one of my buddies to rocker. Like he refused to ride it, and then he got on the money and loved it.
That board was money. It really was. But yeah, so it's got that new shape in there. There's a new board that replaces the space case called the Finest on page 25.
That's
there's actually a bunch.
Worthington's Pro Model.
Yeah. Then there's another new board, the Ford's a directional Forrest Bailey board, so that's page 29.
Yep.
Another new board is the Anti-Gravity, which is a directional C3 board, page 31.
Hypercarve is now attached to Blake Paul instead of just being his unofficial Pro Model. It's more or less his Pro Model now.
Yeah. There's a new board called the Pro Choice by Jamie Anderson, page 43.
I think that's a one size, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But whatever, it doesn't come with vaccinations, so
yeah.
Whatever. The Be Nice has a light and dark graphic version, page 44 and 45. And then there's a new board for the women called the Whip, which is a hard charging C3 board.
I think it's what was the men's? I think it's basically just the women's with the men's, isn't it?
Usually is, but it's C3, and that's on page 53.
Yeah. It's the women's anti-gravity, I think, basically.
Yeah, so the bigger story here is that they're still doing the fucking Unreal bindings.
God, why are they still making bindings?
Those things are...
Especially now that, like, bent metals are good. Why,
I fucking have no idea. But, it is what it is with GNU,
I think the graphic on the Rider's Choice is on point for next year. I think that's super solid. Just like the tattoo style, basic black and white. Like, I just think it looks really good.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Their graphics are always hit or miss with me. But I like the new headspace. Like, that looks really good. I haven't seen much out of Forrest Bailey lately.
I'm hoping with the release of the number 4, he's finally starting to realize that he's, I think, in my opinion, more fun to watch riding like natural terrain and backcountry than he is to watch ride street. But maybe that's just me.
I think he's getting a little too old.
Could be it. Mule Air looks dumb. There's nothing about that board I like.
Hypercarve looks good. It looks like they took the OG graphic and blackened it and then threw it on there.
Yep. And I love that board. That board is loose in all the right ways.
So my question is, with the Mueller graphic, is Nico trying to tell us we need to be vegan?
Probably. Actually, no, he's not vegan. He's pescatarian. I learned this. My buyer, when he went to 32 camp in Switzerland, dick. Yeah, he met Nico, and they, were there at this resort that was all about health, and they only sold, they just offered them organic food and all this other stuff, and he made some sort of comment to Nico about being vegan, and Nico was like, "No, I'm not vegan. I eat fish. I eat eggs. Like, I eat dairy, like cheese mostly. Most Europeans don't really drink milk, but
still,
yeah. So pescatarian, he eats fish.
Pescatarian. Well, Libtech's got some new stuff going on.
Yes, Libtech's got a lot of new stuff going on. I am quite excited about.
So there's the Brendan Reese Skate Banana on page 31. And then there's the T-Raz, which is the Chris Rassman.
Yeah, that was it's
an early release.
Early, late release, whatever, for this year.
Yeah, that's page 37.
Which is literally just a T-Rice 59, just because they've never had that size. And
that's what it is, yeah. It's a T-Rice with a different graphic for Chris Rassman.
Travis Rice graphic actually looks good, like really good.
The sword,
again. Yeah, the sword graphic looks good.
Yeah. New board, the Dynamo, which is C3, and that's on page 40.
It is very nice.
You've ridden it.
Yes. It's very nice.
Yeah, I was actually at Copper the other day and ran into Matt Olson, the rep out here, and Ended up turning screws at the. I don't know how he conned me into this.
I didn't hear about this.
This just happened on Friday. I was like getting ready to leave Copper at like 1:30 in the afternoon. And it was like I was just beat from smashing POW all day, and I was like, "Holy shit!" There's the rep. Started talking to him. Next thing I know, I'm fucking turning screws and selling people on boards.
That's hilarious.
Well, you gotta fucking love this, but it's like he was doing God's work that day. First off, the amount of ancient ass never summers. I mean, ancient like cambered never summers coming in. Traditional cambered Evos and shit coming in, and I was just like, the fact that like women were riding them, I was just like,
oh god,
whatever. That guy, just the stupidity coming out of people's mouths was there. It was like, don't say anything, don't say anything. You will make them cry. I was like, fuck.
The late release split last year gets a solid for this year. The BRD or Bird or
yeah, it's basically a Resort Slayer.
Yeah, it looks like a great shape.
Gold member gets new sizes. The BRD is on page 42. There's a new MC kink, but it's the MC Snake kink, so that's page 55, which...
It looks like a short fat. If you're not paying attention, it's not. It's a 59.
Yeah.
For the MC Snake kink. So it's not a short fat, even though it kind of looks like it's supposed to be in the catalog, just because of the shape of it, but it's not. So I thought it was. And then I saw what size it was, and I was like, oh, that's massive.
It's 25.6 waist, so it's a little wider, too.
It's a little wider, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a free ride directional. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's, was that C3, so which is basically their version of Camber 2.0.
Yep.
Let's see. There's the Magic BM, which is basically an upgraded Banana Magic.
Yep.
Page 62. Basically, they took everything they liked about it and just upgraded it to it, which I was looking at it the other day, and, you know, I actually like the Banana Magic. I know you don't.
I haven't ridden it in a long time. I need to ride it again.
It's not a bad board. It's not a great board. I like it, but it's good.
Litigator.
Yes, Litigator.
So no more Doughboy for next year. They more or less are just doing the Litigator instead. Only comes in the perfect size for you, 170.
It's not a 195, man.
No, it's just not the one.
I was really hoping they were going to go even further. I really wanted to see like a 300.
Oh, God.
I would have been really impressed and been like, wow, you guys...
See, the thing with that is shipping. Shipping a 300.
Put a hinge in it and a screw, and you just like...
Ah, yes. Just put a hinge in it.
Just put a hinge in it. There's the number 43, which women's lib.
Women's lib. That's a huge thing to say alone. Is women's lib.
Yeah, women's lib. So they're doing so that's page 67, and they've got a few women's models. There's the new Cortado, which is page 68, which is the women's terrain wrecker.
Yep.
And then there's the Dynamis, page 69, which is obviously the women's dynamo. So I think the Cortado is honestly going to sell really well for them.
I think it will too. It's a great graphic, and I think it's a really easy board to get on.
And yeah, I was looking at it and was like, when I was doing the demo, all these chicks that were fucking coming in with Evos and shit. I was like, here, ride this.
Yeah.
Just ride this. It's great. But, yeah, that's the other thing about this demo. Watched a kid come in with rental Burton LTR bindings with the fucking puck plate.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no, I shit you not. So there was those. Like, so many Burton custom and custom freestyle bindings. Like, shit I owned in 1998.
Dude,
like,
what the heck?
Like, fucking get some goddamn new bindings, people. Like, the best was the kid with the fucking, with the rental bindings wanted to take the Orca. He's like, yeah, I really want to take one. And his dad, typical skier nerd dad, was like, do you know where we could get like a seasonal rental of this for him? No, you're going to fucking buy it. The kid's like 14. This kid was a fucking putz too. Like, I mean, I just like... He's sitting there, and I'm watching him put his goggles lens down on shit. And I was like, yo, bud, don't do that. That's how you scratch him. He's like, oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, he's like, this board is sick and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, yeah, you're fucking riding, like, with LTR bindings. I want to be like, the kid was like 13, 14. It's time to buy him real shit. Like, get away from the seasonal rentals. He's not growing much. Dad, he's almost your size. Like, looking at you and him, apple ain't going to fall far from the tree.
Yeah, at that point, you can at least buy him some bindings.
Yeah.
They have a size range.
Like, So they're whatever. I could go on forever about.
Orca 47 and 59 are officially in the line because when they originally introduced the Orca, it was only supposed to come in a 53. They did end up shipping this year as a late decision in extra sizing because they found out that Travis was only going to ride the Orca anymore. So like, oh shit, we should probably have some sizes of this board.
Yeah, he's only riding in the Orca, but he's got like 7 other pro models.
Yeah, dude, and watching him talk about his line, and then he gets to the Orca, and he basically just says, forget all of that, except the split board, because it's a split board, but forget all of that. This is the only board I ride anymore. Which I think is kind of crazy, because like, he does actually just ride the production Orca, and the 53. From the rep and from his own mouth, he rides the 53.
Oh yeah,
and he's not a small dude.
No, I rode the 53. Let me tell you, that thing kills it in the park.
It's just a fun board.
No, it's an amazing shape. Yeah. That board is so over in the land of bent metal.
Yep,
they got a new toe strap, which you can see on page 4.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, I wrote it. Doesn't really add anything, to be completely honest. Like, their split toe strap was already really good, but it just kind of adds a little more premium feel. And if you have a slippery toe for some strange reason, it's going to lock down a little better. But, yeah, new toe strap.
Duct tape will fix any problem you have.
Sure.
And then there's the new Core Pro binding.
Yeah.
With the magnesium fiber, page 26. And
I need to get on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to grab some eventually when we're allowed to get stuff, because evidently there's just nothing but Mervin demos forever.
Poor Matt.
I'll go turn screws for him. We had a fun time.
Yeah.
He let me get away with saying things I probably shouldn't have said to people, though.
Yeah, well. I think he knew what he was getting into.
He made his decisions. No, actually, with that statement, this kid comes up with an old Burton Custom with the ICS and is like, I want to take something out. Can I put my bindings on there? And I was like, no, you have ICS binding. And he couldn't grasp the concept. And finally, I was like, look, man, you made your decisions. You have to live with them now. And his friend was like, yeah, man, you made it. And it was just like, they were just fucking, it was fucking hilarious.
That's good.
Because it literally put him right in his place. You made your decisions. You have to live with it.
Yeah.
And then the final thing is there's the new ladies meta on page 32, which stoked to see them expanding into just adding more options for the women. And that is like a higher end binding for sure when you look at it. It's got,
Is it? I thought that was the unibody.
It is, but when you look at the drive plate, the flex, everything on there.
So it's like the high end, it's like a higher end joint, which I read the joint, it was solid.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is, but I mean for women's, because, when you look at, like, say, the Upshot, it's a softer flexing one.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah Tim Eddy's wife's got a pro model too, so that's cool to see.
Yeah.
She's a rad chick, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's basically the stiffer one that they've got coming out for bent metal. So that's pretty much everything out of the Mervin camp
Yep.
that we can talk about.
Yeah.